Good evening and welcome to this week's watch list. So I do this every Sunday or Monday, depending on where you're watching this. If you're watching this on LinkedIn, the video goes up Monday morning. If you're watching this on YouTube, video goes up Sunday evening, 6 p.m. West African time. So I just run through a list of stocks I'll be paying close attention to in this week's trading or the coming week's trading session on the NGX. Before we dive into it, please note that this is not investment or trading advice. These are my thoughts about companies, thoughts subject to change. It's not advice in any way, shape, or form. So do your own research and do not take what I say as investment or trading advice. And you don't have to wait to the end to like, share, and subscribe this video. It helps with the YouTube algorithms. Thank you for everyone who's been doing so, and let's keep going. Let's keep pushing so we can get content like this into a wider audience. Now, the criteria for the watch list: technical reasons mostly, highs, lows, range trading, large volumes, and the likes, as well as corporate actions. Corporate actions, in essence, are announcements made by firms. Any announcement made by a firm is known as a corporate action. First on my list, Lafarge Africa. Lafarge, I suspect, may open on full bids tomorrow because after trading hours last Friday, the firm, in fact, the firm is actually yet to send in a notice, but will I say the prior or immediate past parent company, Holcim shared a notice on their website that they have completed the divestment or they have completed their exit of their stake in Lafarge to Huaxin. I mean, Huaxin, in some ways, you might call Huaxin. It's a Chinese firm, but they're somewhat related to Holcim. So it seems it's like a corporate rearrangement of things. But in any case, Holcim has exited Lafarge Africa at an equity value of $1 billion on a 100% basis before dividend adjustment. So why do I think this stock will be on bid? I mean, the question on many people's minds will be, will Huaxin keep this company listed? Would they decide to exit the exchange? If they're going to exit the exchange, in fact, just by, I believe, if I'm correct with the rules, just by virtue of this transaction, then they should probably be making a mandatory offer to minority investors and the like. So people would definitely be watching this stock in the coming days ahead. Cutix second spot because Cutix dropped its Q1 numbers after trading hours on Friday. Big ups to the firm for giving enough notice. They had sent in a notice as to when, giving an outline or a range within when they were going to submit their results, and they did so on time. So big ups to them. We need more companies doing the same thing. Now, the numbers were negative, and I think by the time you listen to this, I should probably have a Spotify episode. So wherever you find this, the Spotify episode will definitely go out before you have this. So once this drops, Spotify will already be live. But really, revenue was flattish, and you had higher finance costs and the like. So profit dipped. I think I've been watching out for how shareholders and investors slash traders slash anyone who's very interested in financial markets, I suspect that they react negatively to the dip in profit. And prior to the release of the results, it also seems that the stock was range trading. And so that very likely may continue this week. Prestige Assurance, I think markets will react negatively because the company plans to, its annual shareholders meeting, or annual general meeting, should be taking place sometime in September. September is, if essentially we are a day to September. Today I'm recording this on the 31st, as you can see from my screen. So in essence, I suspect, I mean, one can safely assume that this firm is going to issue 10.7 billion shares. And as you can see, Prestige has 13.2 billion shares. So issuing 10.7 billion shares, that's a massive amount of dilution. So I'll be watching to see how investors would react to this development, because notice came in, I believe, after trading hours on Friday. Aradel closed flat last week at 510, but I saw a few sub 500 trades, if I recall correctly. Or yeah, and it's possible that that may occur as well. I think it was either sub 500 or around 500 naira trades. I think a bit of both. Let me confirm from my numbers here. I don't have the daily market summary reports in front of me, but I have the NGX website on another device. So let me see what it says. I do recall, though, I suspect I saw sub 500 trades last week. So I think it will continue. I mean, it closed flat all week last week, but I think I saw a few sub 500 trades and all that. So in any case, I will be paying close attention to the stock. MTN Nigeria also closed flat at 435, but I saw trades in the 405, 410, 415, 417 range. So what that means is that for those who are either whether you're a long-term investor, you're a short-term investor, it's possible that they may decide to take position, because I mean I've expatiated on the video. You can check YouTube. If on YouTube, probably it's easier to watch or go through the list of past videos. I have always maintained that I think this stock probably will be doing 700 to 1,000 naira in the next 2-3 years. But please note, I'm not in any way soliciting or recommending or suggesting that you should buy. These are just my thoughts on MTN Nigeria. Zenith Bank closed flat, or closed rather at 66. It dipped a bit, if I recall. I mean, you can take 66 naira as a form of support, but the question is, would it dip further? There is the technical term skips my mind, but you can say that stock is trading at a discount to GTCO. You can call it peers. So, I mean, if GTCO is pushing 90 and Zenith is pushing 66, you might argue that there may be some room. The elephant in the room, pardon the pun, is everybody's waiting for H125 numbers and what people want to know, what will be impairment provisions be like. So really, I mean, for GT's case, we know that we have probably very few, next to nothing in terms of impairment, significant impairment provisions. So Zenith dipped 4.35% on Friday. The question is, would it dip further, or at this point will it maintain this as a support? It's hard to say. I think it will rebound, but it's also possible it could fall further depending on what the broad market sentiments are. It's also possible it could maintain support, but whichever way it is, the stock, I think at this point in time, is starting to look interesting, whether it's a short-term play or a mid-term play. And let's see how the stock performs in the coming week. GTCO dipped last week, closed at 92 naira. I mean, at the 90 naira point, that's a key psychological level, as the traders will say. But even at 92, I mean, this is a stock that crossed 100 naira some weeks ago. So at 92, I mean, you can argue that, well, look, what is the possible trending range for this stock? Probably would swing, in my view, between 90 to 100, depending when we see the H125 numbers. But short-term players might decide that, look, stock traded at 92, if I buy at 92 and it bounces back to 95 or 97, depending on how H125 numbers look like, and whether if/when/what would be the magnitude of interim dividend. I think that, so whichever case it is, definitely the stock will be on people's radar. A few stocks I left out. I thought I had them, but I might as well just mention them. Insurance stocks are on my radar. They dominated the losers. The top 10 losers, I think 4 or 5 were insurance companies. And on the flip side, you had insurance companies like NEM that recovered slightly last week. So they would continue to be on my radar this week as well. So that's pretty much about it. You can find more content at greentickedeals.com. podcast episodes and various podcast episodes on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Music. And a couple of changes I'll be making. TikTok, I'm starting, inshallah, I'll be starting a personal finance series. I'm going to run through that for the next 20, 30 days on TikTok before going on to the harder stuff, as I can say. I'm still not decided if that will go on LinkedIn. I'm looking at tweaking my LinkedIn content. So if you're on LinkedIn, probably you may get this video or not. I'm not decided yet. Let's see how tomorrow looks like. But definitely, I'll be having more analytical content on LinkedIn, zeroing in on companies, zeroing in on global macros, especially. So LinkedIn will be less heavy on the market stuff. So at best, you may have maybe a daily market summary, and then you have other content on LinkedIn, also more written content. So I'm tinkering, or I'm considering a couple of things for LinkedIn. But YouTube remains as the way it is. But you never say never. Change is the only constant thing in life. So thank you for watching. See you tomorrow, and let's see how tomorrow shapes out, and indeed this week shapes out. Have a good day, week, or rest of the weekend ahead.